Hi friends, this is Aaronica and welcome back to my channel where we talk about everything from sewing to now life and everything in between. So today we're kicking off our series on continuing to deep dive into faith, goal setting, and our year in review. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. 2023 has been a year. And I'm not going to say that it was all bad, and I'm not going to say that it was all great, but it indeed has been a year to remember. I will definitely not be on my deathbed and be like, oh my God, 2023, I cannot remember that year. Not going to happen. But in order for us to set goals for 2024, we do need to take a look at 2023. Now, before we go ahead and get started, I am going to be sharing 20 questions that I think that you need to be asking yourself before you go ahead and decide what your 2024 is going to look at, right? Because we know that history does repeat itself. And so in order for it to not repeat itself, or in order for it to repeat itself, let's take a deep dive and ask ourselves some of the harder questions. Now, I'm not going to lie. This is going to be a little bit of a press and vulnerability for your girl because as I encourage you all to go ahead and answer these questions, I too am going to answer these questions aloud. Don't worry, I'm going to copy and paste all of these questions to be in the caption so you can keep up and answer at your own pace. I highly recommend either using the Dream workbook, the Dream Life workbook that you can get from Harmony Trace Apothecary, link is below as well, or just simply grab a pen and a piece of paper and write these answers out for yourself. So that way, as you are setting goals for 2024, you can go ahead and include the answers to these questions. Now, I know it's like, Aaronica, how did we get here? So if you missed my video, which was for day 17 of Vlogmas, I talked a lot about having faith, aka manifesting, right? And being more intentional about the things that we speak into existence, i.e., the things that we actually have faith in. So it's so funny because, very brief story before I go ahead and get into the actual content of this here video. I was talking to my husband yesterday after church and I was like, oh, that message was so fantastic. And now it's weird because growing up, yes, I grew up and I was raised Roman Catholic. He grew up as a preacher's kid. So he grew up in the church. So that means that you got to have faith, the faith, right? That is how, in my opinion, he grew up. But it's always very interesting to me that both of us tend to have a little bit of a struggle with faith. The wild thing is that one, we have each survived the hardest days of our lives. Two, if I take a look at the track record of my life, there's no reason why I should not have faith that everything's going to work out. One thing about me, God, my grandmother, my ancestors, they got me. So I am always in need of that. Just a slight constant reminder of, hey girl, we got you. So today I woke up and I was getting ready to go and support another creator. For those that don't know, I have a Substack where I do actually have subscriptions where you can receive paid items from me. Meaning like last month I released a pattern that was exclusive just for subscribers. And don't worry, I'm going to do the same thing on YouTube. But I went and I supported another creator who has a paid Substack. And I was like, I'll just pay for the month in full. And I pulled up my account and it was declined. And I was like, why? I've got all this money. Yeah, I pulled up my account and my mortgage had been taken out not once, but they double charged us. Now, I don't know about you, but currently in the middle of Christmas vacation or in this holiday season, I can't really afford an extra almost $2,500 being missing from my account. Why? Because I have 3 children who I have to make magic for during Christmas time. Now, normally, I'm not going to lie, I would be in tears and I would be on the phone cursing people out and acting all sorts of out of character as though I didn't have religion. But you know what's so funny is that I was like, well, apparently God gave us the message that we needed yesterday. And for the first time in a really long time that I could remember, I'm not over here freaking out and wondering how it is we're going to make up the difference in the balances that we would have had or needed to have versus what we actually have. I already know and I have the faith, like literally in my heart, that everything is going to work out fine. Everything is going to be okay. The things are going to work out in my favor. But honestly, there was a point in time in my life where I could not have said that. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with the year of 2023 in review. And so these are going to be some harder questions, but I don't want you to shrink back from them because they're designed to really kind of help you to deep dive into your thinking and to hopefully make some better decisions for 2024 that result in a year that really makes you feel good. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So, the first question is, what were my biggest achievements this year? For me, I think that one of the biggest achievements that I have, and I feel like this is probably the running theme for me, is in choosing myself. I am a recovering people pleaser, and I do not like for people to not like me. I don't like to make people mad at me. I just don't like it. I like for people to think favorable of me. I I often put taking care of myself by the wayside. Like the last time that I went to a PCP was in 2019. I went to a doctor this year. The last time that I went to an OBGYN, 2017. I went to the OB this year. And I've been to the dentist and I've been doing all of the things that I need to in order to take care of myself. And I feel like that is a huge achievement. Yes, there were some other really great things that I got done this year, but I think that the biggest achievement for myself was in choosing me this year. And yeah, excuse me. Question number 2. What challenges did I face and did I meet the goals I set for myself at the beginning of the year? Now, this is something that I shared with you all in the last video. I didn't set goals for myself for 2024. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Apparently, my intuition was like, sis, we not about to be getting any goals done this year. Like, so just let that shit ride. So I didn't. And I faced a lot of challenges. I shared this on Threads, which shout out to Threads taking over for Twitter because y'all, they were going crazy over there. I shared this on Threads though. I'm leaving this year with 3 less friends than I started the year out with. Am I okay with it? I have to be okay with it, right? Do I know why? Nope. And honestly, it's none of my business unless they make it my business, right? So I had some friendship challenges, and I navigated that and I talked through that with my husband, and that was very hard for me. It's funny because I'm gonna actually put a screenshot over here because on Threads there was that mention that I made, and then Faith from Faith St. Jules actually had a thread that she had posted like right underneath it, and it was almost like really just in line, but you'll see right here. So I faced that challenge of friendships in the beginning, and then of course I faced the obvious, which was the fact that I underwent a double mastectomy, and did not think that I was going to be doing that this year. Some other challenges were my mindset, and letting go of some things, specifically the idea that chasing my health had to look a specific way, right? I also faced some challenges in focus. It was really, really hard for me to focus this year, but I think that that's because I wanted to be focusing on growing my business, but this year for me, my focus was health, right? So question number 3. Actually, that was both questions 2 and 3. So the first one was what challenges did I face? And question number 3 was, did I meet the goals I set for myself at the beginning of the year? Question number 4, what new skills did I acquire? I love this question. This reminds me of how Dejanay, if you guys don't follow her, you should. She is Deja Made It. And we were talking and she was like, have you ever done the Make 9? Oh, sorry about that, guys. And I was like, every year I set out to do the Make 9, and then there will be like new patterns that I want to try, so I never complete it. So she was like, I think that this year I'm going to focus on skills that I want to acquire. And I was like, girl, that is so smart. I digress. So what new skills did I acquire this year? You guys, I put out my first indie patterns. That's number 1. And For my indie patterns, I do all of the design, all of the grading. I put together the tutorial for the most part. And that was a skill set that I did not think that, not that I didn't think I had, but it was something that I worked really hard to acquire this year. Very, very proud of myself for that. So, that part right there. I also think that I became a better mom. Like, I think that I did some focus work on being able to connect with each of my children in a way that makes sense for them. And I think that that is a really good skill set to have, not just with my kids and also with my husband. How did I grow professionally and personally? Let's address personally first. I think that how I grew personally, obviously, goes even back to number one in choosing myself. I turned 40 this year, so obviously I grew in years, right? But in that turning 40, I am finding myself choosing me more often and choosing what fits for me as opposed to trying to please others, right? And trying to make the decisions that I think other people would like for me to make, or in choosing things that would please others versus myself. So I think that that is a really big growth opportunity for me. Professionally, I stepped out of my box a lot. I was able to work with Aurifil threads on a new collection. I took my hand at fabric design and I'm learning even more and more about that. So very, very excited about that. And I've been, taking classes. I've been using this year that has been developmental for me to really grow myself. So I love that. What could I have done differently? What could I have done differently this year? Mm. I don't think that I should have rushed the healing after my mastectomy. I felt like I needed to be okay. Like I felt like I needed to show other people that I was okay before I was actually there. So it was like, and acting like I'm okay before I got there. You know what I mean? And I think in that, doing that, I didn't pay close enough attention to my mental health. I didn't pay close enough attention to my emotional health. And because of that, there were some things that I allowed to infiltrate my mindset that I should not have. So that is the only thing that I would have done differently. What relationships did I build, improve, or end? So I built my relationship obviously with Julian. Um, and we launched the Audacity podcast. Very, very excited about that. I also built my relationship even more with like Lisa from Black Women Stitch, Nikki from Sewing My Style. I created new relationships with like Dejanay from, again, Deja Made It, from like with Brittany. Really proud of a lot of these relationships that I have continued to build and grow. My relationship, or rather with my friendships, like with like my best friends, Kenya, they've continued to grow. Um, and of course, there are relationships that ended. And, people are supposed to be in your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And some of those happened as well, which honestly, I'm okay with now. So, what were some unexpected events and how did you handle them? Um, the mastectomy for me was an unexpected event. Um, let's see, were there any other ones? Yes, there was another one. I don't want to share too much about the other one because it's more about my daughter and less about me. And so I don't necessarily want to do that. So, the first unexpected event, of course, was the mastectomy. How did I handle it? Or I guess that wasn't really the event. The event was finding out that I had the BRCA2 gene and I opted to have my boobs cut off. Um, and I still stand by that decision. Still stand by that decision. Um, my daughter got into a little debacle situation and I supported her. I showed up for her and I was there for her. And I did the best that I could in order to support her as she navigated a space where she did not think that she was going to be. And I'm very proud of her. Um, what were my happiest moments and why? Okay, so my happiest moments are definitely when I pick my kids up from school and getting them into the car and having conversation with them. Hands down, some of my best moments this year. The just being able to connect with my kids and talk to them and hear about their days and help them navigate through the hard times that they might be having with their friends or with teachers and stuff like that. Those are always really great moments for me. Um, and of course, anytime that I get just with my husband, we don't date a lot. And I know for some people, it's like, oh my God, your marriage is going down in hell. But we are quite happily and healthily married. And I'm not saying that not dating works for us, but we're both homebodies. So, you know, like Netflix and chill works for us. Okay. That's what I'm going to say. And I just enjoy every moment that I get to connect with him. Which areas of my life require more attention or improvement? Definitely my health. And before any of the fat shamers try and come for me, it doesn't actually have to do with my weight. I want to lose weight purely for, dare I say, vanity reasons, because like I want to use less yardage and fabric to make myself clothes. But I feel like as soon as I have to focus on my health, I'm just like, who else needs attention, right? And even though this year I definitely made some strides in that, but there are some things that I need to do better there. And so we'll talk more about that for when we discuss 2024 goals. Did I maintain good work-life balance? Honestly, I think I did. And previously, I would not have been able to say that. I am a bit of a workaholic. I love working though. Like, it's hands down one of my favorite things to do in life. I love working. I love being able to positively impact like the people who I do. It's my favorite. I just love it so much. And sometimes, or previously, I used to let that get in my way. And this year, I do think that I had way better balance when it came to that. So, yeah. What are my most significant learnings from this year? Choose me. Choose me every single day. In choosing yourself, you learn what you're capable of. You learn your areas of growth opportunity. You learn what you're worth. You learn the things that you deserve. So, yeah, definitely learning to just choose me more than anyone else. Did I take care of my health and well being effectively? I want to say yes and no, right? So, physically, when it came time for me to show up for things, I did, right? Like, I went to the doctors. I acted on the things that they said that I needed to act on. In fact, like I went to my PCP. I had my blood work done. I came back slightly pre-diabetic. They were just like, yeah, you could just go for a little, like a carb or two less a day. And they were like, take some longer walks. Like, literally, it was not like, oh, we need to prescribe a medicine or anything like that, right? So I do feel like I have been doing the things that my doctors have been saying to do. I do think that I could afford to go to therapy next year, though. So I do think that that could be, something that helps me bridge the gap um, between like taking good care of my health and well being. Did I make a positive impact on the lives of others? I'm going to say yes. I am, right? Um, I really think that I have, and I've worked really hard to do that. When people interact with me, again, recovering people pleaser, I really hope that people feel honored by me, and I hope that people feel, or people know that even if I feel like, um, if I have wronged people, I do take accountability and apologize when necessary. So I do think that that answer is yes. I do think I made that positive impact on the lives of others. Question number 15. How did I handle stress and setbacks? I'm going to give a PC answer here. Okay. So, I believe in taking supplements. So I take an anxiety free supplement, an adrenal support supplement to help me navigate that chemistry inside of me. Um, as far as setbacks, I cried a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Your girl was crying a lot. I cried. I cried through with tears of frustration. I cried with tears of disappointment. My feelings were hurt, and once I got it out, I continued moving forward. I did a lot of talking about it. I will say next year I likely will not talk about it at all. Um, but honestly, I feel like stress and how we manage stress is a choice, right? Like we can either internalize it and allow it to like break us down from the inside out, or we can do choose something healthy. So I started to walk more. I was riding. I became more physical to kind of get some of that stress out, and I feel like that was a great way to handle stress. Question number 16. What are you grateful for this year? I feel like this year has been hard for so many. Um, and a lot of us have just been struggling through it. And I'm really grateful for the friendships that I do have that have supported me through the struggle and who have allowed me to support them through their struggle as well. I have made some of the most incredible friends this year. I have developed some of the most incredible friendships this year, and I have seen people grow, and I love that so much. I'm very grateful for those relationships. Okay, number 17 is what were my financial wins and losses? Okay, so a win is I monetized my YouTube channel. Very, very happy about that. Um, Another win is that I actually had a paid campaign that paid four figures from like on my YouTube channel. So financially, win, right? Also, another financial win is I started to do the work to change my mindset surrounding money. And I was actually literally just having this conversation with my husband because so often we think of money as the root of all evil, or, it's just a capitalistic society. It doesn't actually matter. More things should matter than money. Money can't buy happiness, blah, 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 blah. And I had this really conflicting relationship with money where I felt like, one, if I felt like people should pay me my worth even before I ask for it. False. Like everybody trying to get a deal. I get it. Um, and then I just didn't want to be another person who subscribed to this notion that money over everything, right? And then I read the book, You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. And I feel like that was the catalyst for change in my mindset towards money. Now that I've shifted that a little bit, and I was just telling my husband, like last year I made hella dough, made lots of money. Very proud of that. Wonderful for me because I needed to prove to myself that I could do it. This year, I do feel like I needed to go back to not making as much money because there was a lesson that I had missed, right? So when it comes to answering the question of what were my financial losses, y'all, your girl didn't make very much money this year. And that's okay. That's okay because that wasn't my goal. Not saying that it wasn't my goal. Because, like, y'all, it's always my goal to make money, right? Which is why monetizing this channel is so important to me because I love creating content. And a lot of time, content creators do not get the respect that we deserve for the jobs that we do. And yeah, throw me some of them ad dollars. Like, watch this channel. Like, I love that. Please let your girl get paid because I love creating. Um, and I feel like I'm finally at this place though where I don't feel like I am wrong for being like, run me my money for showcasing, insert whatever it is that I'm doing, and allowing my audience that I have worked really hard to build receive some blessing from this share. So while my wins were not that I was over here balling out of control, I do feel like the mindset that I had this year was in fact a win. So, question number 18, friends. What inspires you to wake up every day? Um, and I feel like what I'm about to say, it sounds so cliche, but it's literally me. I love that I get the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life. That is what inspires me. Um, whether it's a difference in my kid's life, whether it's a difference in my husband's life, whether it's a difference in your life, I love that I get to wake up, and that is what is top of mind is how can I help or inspire someone today? And that is my first thought. So that is what inspires me to wake up every day. Um, we only have two questions left. So number 19 is, what new habits did I develop and which ones did I break? This is a really good question. What new habits did I develop? I have developed the habit of putting me, making me a priority, making my health a priority. Um, I let's see. Mm, I am breaking, because I still feel like it's something that I'm working on. I am breaking the habit of feeling like my worth is tied to the money that's in my account, as well as the money that I earn, my productivity. I am breaking that habit. Like, I haven't fully broken it yet, but your girl is on her way. Okay, final question. What are my goals for the next year, and what steps will I take to achieve them? But we are not going to answer this question right now. We're going to save that for an entirely different video, because I want you all to sit with these for at least 24 hours. Tomorrow's video will not be what our goals are. Tomorrow we're going to be making some shit, right? We're going to have a little fun. We're going to do a little DIY, a little crafty, okay? So I want you all to go through and answer these questions for yourselves. Again, just writing them down and answering them, and really putting some thought into this year that has passed. Even if you're taking a look month by month and saying, January, I felt really proud of this. February, this was my accomplishment. Whatever it takes, go ahead and do, right? Because in order for you to make the necessary changes that you would like to make for 2024, you've got to take a look at 2023 under a microscope. You've got to be honest with yourself about what happened in this year to make you want to do different for next year. So sit with this, answer these questions before the year is over, okay? That is your homework. Get it done, okay? And then when we come back together for day number 20, Vlogmas day number 20, we're going to take a look and we're going to deep dive into what we are seeking to manifest for 2024. And I want you to notice the intentionality of what I said. I didn't say goal setting. What are we manifesting for 2024? Because I'm dead serious. We are not making this vision board. We're not making that. We're making a manifestation board, because these are specific, tangible things that we are looking to manifest, okay? So with that, thank you so much for joining me on my channel. I hope that you have already subscribed. I hope that you have liked. I hope that you have shared this with someone else who you think could benefit from this. And I will see you all next time.